Thanks for joining us here at Functional Bliss, where Audra and Jessica will guide you through exercises and wellness techniques to help you live your best life every day. It's in the name after all, Functional Bliss. Before you do anything else, click like and subscribe and ring the bell so you'll know whenever we put up a new video. To join our Blissful Gang for live Zoom classes where you can get more direct suggestions and encouragement, go to our website and sign up. Check the class description below for any equipment needs, grab your gear, and let's get started.
So grab your looping resistance band. We're gonna start with just a little bit of a grip. So you're gonna hold your looping resistance band just with your hands in a little bit of a grip, just to find a little bit of tension in the shoulders. We're gonna lift the arms up, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, keep a long spine or like a neutral flat back. Come back up, arms are gonna reach up, and then we're gonna come right back up to standing. So that's all you gotta do. Pull apart on your band just a little bit. Bend your knees, hip hinge, bend down towards the ground. And it really doesn't matter if you can touch the ground or not, and especially just do that little feel out. How's your body feeling this morning? How's your energy level? We don't have any speed rounds today, but you still always want to just check in and make sure that you're moving your body at a pace and a depth that feels appropriate to how you're feeling. One day might be totally different than the other. So just because you could do something yesterday doesn't mean it's necessarily wise or advised today, and vice versa. All right, you're already halfway there. Ten seconds left. Good morning, Linda. Linda, this morning we need our looping resistance band and our hand weights. And if you like a cushion for your knees, something to cushion your knees. All right, that's time. So now we're going to step our feet just a little bit wider. Put your TheraBand or your looping resistance band off to the side just a little bit. We're going to find a slight bit of a toe turned out situation. We're going to go arms up and overhead, grab your hands or grab your wrist, take a little side bend each way. And then as you come into a little bit of a cactus arm or goalpost arm, sink into a little squat, and then rise right back up. Grab your wrist or grab your thumbs, side bend each way, and then down into that little squat. When you take that little squat position, just take a moment to notice, how do your hips feel? How does your legs and your butt and your knees feel? And then as you take your side bends, just kind of notice, how does your side body feel? How do your shoulders feel? Think of this as a warm-up minute, so don't go too hard or extreme. But I'm going to start inviting just a little bit of intentional breath work for anyone who's been working with me for a while and you're just doing your maintenance programming. So you're just here every Monday, every Friday, and you're maintaining your exercise regimen. If that's all you've been doing, I'm going to invite you to start paying a little bit more attention to the breath work that I often suggest. So if you have been like, I don't do the breath work, I just skip that part. Everything I'm reading, every evidence suggests that breath work is super important. So if you can start incorporating a little bit of breath work into your practice, you might feel just a little bit of those benefits. We want to think about breathing in and out through our nose. All right, that's time. Now for this last warm-up minute, we're going to start with our feet kind of forward, and we're going to scrape like we're scraping gum off the bottom of our feet. What we're trying to achieve is feeling the hamstring muscles, the muscles in the backs of the thighs, get kicked on. So if it helps you find it, place your hands on the backs of your thighs, bend your knees just enough, and then you're scraping your foot like you're scraping gum off the bottom of your sole of your shoe. And then hopefully here, you'll feel that little bit of contact or connection of those hamstring muscles kick on. And then once you feel like, okay, I know where that's coming from, then come up into a little bit more upright position and put a little oomph into it. Push down into your foot, scrape the gum off. We got 10 more seconds of work here. But as you do this work, now can you start to breathe in and out through your nose? All right, now we're going to go at a little bit of a diagonal. So you're going to scrape off and look to the bottom of your shoe to check, scrape off, check your shoe, scrape off, check your shoe. So now we're adding just that little bit of rotation and side bend work. Slight bit of balance. How's your balance feeling this morning? Can you still keep breathing in and out through your nose? 5 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, hand weights or no hand weights is going to be totally up to you. It's going to be 30 seconds one foot, 30 seconds the other. We're going to do a little bit of a cross behind or curtsy squat, whatever you like to call it. You're going to squat down, touch the ground, step it right back in. If you want to grab your hand weights, go ahead and grab them. You can load up at the shoulders. You can add any little arm movement here that feels beneficial. But for right now, the big focus is 30 seconds staying on this one side, step behind, give a little curtsy, step right back in. Nice job. And then we're starting to use those big muscles. So for all my friends who are doing, because if you're doing like prehab, rehab, if you're working on stuff, the breath work might come later. But if you're here working on your maintenance, start breathing in and out through your nose and see if you can slow your exhale down and use your exhale to help with your effort. All right, when you're ready, switch over to the other side. Everything else stays the same. Nice job. And time. Awesome. Okay, we're going to step our feet to a wide configuration into a bent over position. We're going to keep both arms loaded, but we're going to work one arm for 30 seconds, the other arm for the next 30 seconds. So step your feet to a good wide position, hip hinge, bend over. It's going to be a gorilla row, but we're going to stick with one arm for 30 seconds and then the other arm for 30 seconds. So we're going to try to keep a nice long spine. You're going to be looking down at the ground and you're going to think about double tucking your chin. So we want to keep that really awesome, good head posture. Check your breathing, breathing in and out through your nose if you can. You guys look amazing. Nice job. All right, now that right arm is going to hang heavy and the other arm is going to do the work. Everything else stays the same. Nice long spine, double tuck chin. You got it. Awesome work. And time. Nicely done. Okay, push down into your feet to come up. Hang on to those weights. However, this is going to be a little bit dynamic. And if your shoulders want you to switch to a lighter weight, you'll choose your own adventure on how much weight you're going to use. But we're going to sink into like a chair squat. Arms are going to fly up. And then we're going to swing, bicep curl, overhead press, bring it back down. Chair squat, arms are going to raise up, bicep curl, overhead press, bring it back down. So we sink into that squat, the arms swing up. We bicep curl, but it's a nice dynamic work. So we never stop the movement. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Take the work at your pace. You can go slow and mindful, but still be slightly dynamic. So it doesn't have to be speedy, like working up a sweat, but you can keep that movement going. You guys look awesome. Nice job. When you go down for that squat, think butt back, bend your knees, but your chest and your chin stay slightly lifted. Yes, awesome. And how your arms rotate, that's just going to be like, go with the natural rotation of your arms. So don't try to force them to be in any particular position. Just let them rotate the way that they naturally do. All right, that's time. Nice. Now grab your looping resistance band. And then if you want to add a single hand weight, you'll choose your own adventure on that one. It's going to be one leg for 1 minute, one leg for the other minute. You're going to step your foot into your looping resistance band, and then you're going to stagger your stance. So it's going to be a single leg deadlift or a staggered stance deadlift. So start with the toe on the ground, hip hinge, bend forward, come back up, and then see how it feels to float that back toe off the ground and go in between a single leg and a staggered stance. So alternate between the two, if you have the balance. If you're working on your balance and it's better to keep your toe on the ground the whole time, do what is best for your body. Once you've got that going on, if you want that added little bit of load, grab your second hand weight, still doing that same bit of work, but now your other hand would be loaded as well, but only if that feels good. So you might choose to just stay with that focus of alternating between a staggered stance and a single leg. Yes, nice job. And then as you start to get really proficient, you don't have to think about it too much. You want your head to follow your heart. So your gaze is going to be down at the ground, push into your standing leg and come back up. You got it. Nice job. Five seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, step your foot out of your loop. We're switching right over to the other side. So first position, you're just taking your looping resistance band around your bottom of your other foot, staggering your stance, and then you're finding your deadlift there. If you want more, you're going to load up your other hand. If you want even more, you're going to alternate between the staggered stance and a single leg deadlift. And then any other add-ons that you want, just make sure that you're focused on that form first. Hip hinge, head follows the movement. So you're looking down at the ground as you come hinge forward, and then your gaze is going to follow as you come up. And then see if you can also find that focus of your breath. Can you keep breathing in and out through your nose, or have you started to use those big muscles and your breath is coming up and you need to breathe in and out through your mouth? And time. Awesome job. Okay, now we're going to take our looping band and we're going to put it around our ankles. So take a moment in whatever way gets you there to put that band around your ankles. We're going to do a little bit of a soccer kick. Sometimes the looping resistance band gets a little caught up in itself and it gets a little wrinkly. For this particular one, if you can stand it, even if it gets a little bit wonky, leave it alone. We're just going to kick forward. So you're just going to step and kick, step back, kick forward. And that's going to be the work. 30 seconds. We're just doing a front kick. So you almost want to imagine that there's just a soccer ball in front of you. You can let your arms kind of help move and swing with you. 30 seconds one leg, 30 seconds the other leg. We want to feel that bit of tension in the top of the thigh. So that knee bend is where most of that work is coming from. Yes, nice job. If this feels like it's not quite enough, grab your hand weights, load up your arms. All right, when you're ready, we're switching our feet. Everything else stays the same. If you can stand that looping resistance band, that's just going to create that tension. So you feel the top of the thigh muscle kick on as you kick or do that knee hinge. Yes. Now you're using those big muscles. We just did the hamstrings and the butt muscles in our deadlift. And now we've got those quadricep muscles working as well. When you start using those big muscle groups, you might start to feel your breath come up. Can you focus on bringing that breath in and out through your nose? 5 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, now we're going to come down into our tabletop position. We are going to use our looping resistance band to start. So find your way down to your all fours. We're going to take our looping resistance band, put it around the forearms, and then find your tabletop. We're doing our calm the water. So this is a nice one for our shoulder girdle. So find your tabletop position, firm up your belly, broaden your shoulders. One hand is going to lift, flat palm, and we're going to draw some circles. So you're calming the water, keeping that nice bit of tension on your band. Go in one direction for 15 seconds, and then I'll tell you when to switch. Keep that belly firm the whole time. So the whole back half of your body. So think from the rib cage down, that whole part of your body is stable as it can be. All right, reverse directions, go the other way. And then watch your head posture. So we want to double tuck the chin. So we keep that whole upper body nice and integrated. We got 3 seconds left. All right, put that hand down, switch to the other hand. Pick up that palm, draw your circles. Keep your belly firm, keep your butt stable, keep your head chin tucked. You got it, nice job. All right, reverse directions, go the other way. Woo, and time, nicely. Release your hands from your band, give your shoulders a little shrug. Now you're going to grab your hand weights, and now we're going to step one leg out to the side. So from your tabletop position, step your right leg out. It's going to be 30, no, excuse me, I say that the wrong way. 1 minute one side, 1 minute the other side. So you're going to start with that leg out to the side. Pull your butt back toward your heel. You get a little stretch to the inner thigh and the groin. Come back up. So that's your mobility work. And then you're going to take one hand, reach up into a twist, bring it back down. Other hand, reach up into a twist, bring it back down. You're going to probably notice that one side, as you reach up for the twist, has a little bit more room to move. Butt back to the heels, reach up and twist. Other hand reaches up and twist. Right back down, both arms on the ground, butt back toward your heels. You got it. Nice job. If you want to work with your breath here, you're going to exhale as you open up into that twist. You're already halfway there on this side. Nice job. And time. Beautiful. Okay, slide that leg in, shake out your butt if you need to, but we're moving it right to the other side. So your other leg is going to step out to your side, and then the same work. We pull the butt back towards the heels. We get a little bit of mobility work, stretch the inner thigh and the groin, open up into your twist. That's your thoracic spine. So think where the rib cage is, that part of the spine. Open up. One side might give you more range of motion than the other, just based on how your leg is placed. Exhale as you open up into your twist. Inhale as you bring it back in. Nice work. Five seconds left. And time. Beautiful. Okay, we're spinning around to sit on our butt into a little bit of a staff seat. So legs out in front of you, nice and long. This was the other prop. If you need a little cushion under your butt, for some of us, sitting on our butt in this upright position causes a little bit of a rounding of the back body. So sometimes just a little cushion under your butt is going to go a long way to help you sit up nice and tall. So if your back tends towards rounding, sit on a cushion, sit up nice and tall, grab your looping resistance band. We're going to put it around the forearms. We're going to keep our elbows in a nice bent position. So we're going to keep the elbows in line with the shoulders, palms facing in. We're going to do one leg lift, the other leg lift, both legs on the ground. You're going to hip hinge, lean back just to the point where you're in good control. Bring it back up, lift one leg, lift the other leg. Keep that long spine, hip hinge, lean back, Come back up nice and strong. You've got it. We've got 1 minute on the clock. If that feels like it's not quite enough work for you, you have the options to grab your hand weights, load up your arms. That'll put a little bit of extra resistance in that upper body and that hip hinge. For some of us, that hip flexor lift, so when you lift that leg up in that seated position, you might not get a lot of height. Don't worry about that, but we do want to feel like the work is coming from that front pocket area. So you want to at least feel like you're engaging the muscles rather than trying to like bend the knee and pick it up. Think really long, straight leg, and you want to feel it up at the top of your thigh and in that front pocket area. That's where we're trying to find some work happening. So don't worry about getting like big height, but definitely worry about trying to find the right muscles to get kicked on. You guys look amazing. Nice job. All right, even yourself out. Make sure both legs got that lift. And then when you're ready, release that band from around your forearms. Give your shoulders a little bit of a shrug. And now we're going to take the looping resistance band. We're going to put it around our below the knee joint is the best way to say it. So we want it below the knee joint. And then we're going to sit back. So for some of us, elbows and forearms are going to do the trick. For some of us, coming all the way down onto our back will feel a little bit better to the head or the neck. So you're going to choose the upper body portion that feels the best to you. But all we're going to do is lift our legs up into a little bent knee position. And then we're going to touch the toes to the ground and bring them back up. So we want to keep that sense of tension around the looping resistance band so the legs don't wobble in and the legs don't wobble out. They stay in that nice tense position. And then, like I said, the upper body part, either you're going to stay in this elbows and forearms supported position, or you'll come down onto your back. That's just going to be what's more comfortable to your head and your neck. And rather than thinking about bending the knees to touch the ground, think about moving the tops of your thighs away from your chest. Yes, nice job. You guys have amazing form. Chef's kiss, beautiful. 15 seconds left. And time. Nice job. Okay, now we're going to come down into our back, but we're going to keep the looping resistance band right about where it is. And you might make little micro adjustments. Like if it gets a little wiggly, you might move it down. That's going to be totally up to you. Come down onto your back. Your two fists are going to stack right between your knees. So we want to keep that nice even distance of space. So your two fists are going to come between your knees. Looping resistance band is around your calves or your ankles or below the knee joint. Find the place where it helps you get good work. And now we're going to internally rotate the thigh or swing your heel out, however you like to say it, so it finds that good work. But we want that little bit of tension on the resistance band as we swing the foot out. And then that same amount of resistance as we come back in. So the leg moves in and out with control. For some of us, it's going to feel better to have the low back pressing down into the ground. For some of us, it's going to feel a little bit better to have a slight natural curve of the back. And for some of us, it's going to feel slightly stronger to curl up the head, neck, and chest. So upper body and the back positioned in a way that you feel the strongest. "12 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze. Now we're going to reset our looping band so that it's around the center of our feet. So you're going to move that looping resistance band down so it's around your center of your feet. And then legs are going to go nice and long. And now we're moving right into our hip rotations. So we're going to step our feet so that they're about hip width distance apart, a good amount of tension on your feet. And then you're going to turn your toes out, and then toes are going to point back up towards the ceiling. Toes are going to turn out, point back up towards the ceiling, but most of the action is happening up in the front pocket area and up in the side of your glutes. So if you like feeling and noticing where that work is coming from, place your hands like you're trying to put them in your front pockets, turn your toes out, bring them back in. We've got 1 minute on the clock. You're going to do this work at your pace. I like a slow, steady, even pace here. Twenty seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, release your feet from your looping band. We're moving right into some hip bridges. So you have the option to use your looping band. You can put it up around your thighs. You can put it below the knee joint. You could keep it around your feet and step your feet out and keep a tension on your feet. So feel free to put your looping band anywhere that might feel really good to find a little bit of work, but we want to focus on activating our butt muscles here. So that's what we're going to shoot for. Step your feet rather than hip width distance apart. Step them just slightly wider than hip width distance apart. If you can, load up your hand weights at your front hip points. We're going to think about somebody's trying to poke you in the bum, and you're going to squeeze your butt right at the bottom and then squeeze it all the way up to the top. Lower down with control. Squeeze your butt at the bottom, almost as if you're trying to find that lift coming from beneath you or underneath your bum. So find that work if you can. Load up with your hand weights if that feels good. Use your resistance band if that feels good. Any work that helps you find, but we want the butt muscles to be the guys that are leading the charge here. And then come back to that breath work. Exhale as you lift up. Inhale as you lower down. If you opted to have your looping band around your thighs or below the knee joint, you want to make sure that there's no buckling in or out of the knees. So you're going to keep and maintain that good sense of tension. Control the legs going up, control the legs going down, squeeze your butt to come up, and then hold that squeeze at the top just for a moment. And time. Nicely done. Okay, so now for this next one, if you're going for your looping resistance band the whole way through, bring it back down around your feet. We're going into a dead bug. We're going to stay hands free for the dead bug this time. So first, find your dead bug position. Arms straight out in front of the chest, legs in that 90-90 bend. Once you've got that going on, if you want, you're going to kick one foot out. That leg is going to hold there. So this is where that little bit of tension is going to happen with the legs. But now we're going to finger flick. So fingers, 4 fingers inside the thumbs, and you're just going to flick like you're flicking water up towards the ceiling. You're going to hold that leg out there. We got 30 seconds with one leg out, 30 seconds with the other leg out. Arms extended up towards the ceiling, and you're flicking your fingers, but you're going for a little bit of pace here. And then see if you can find that focus of breath again, breathing in and out through your nose if you can. All right, when you're ready, switch your leg, but everything else stays the same. Our fingers are flicking, holding that leg out nice and steady, breathing in and out through your nose. Arms are probably burning now. Your fingers and your forearms are probably really getting fatigued. Keep going if you can. And time. Woo, shake out those wrists. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a squeeze. Move that looping band out from your feet if you were using it there. Set your feet down, and then you're going to choose your own adventure with your hand weights. It's going to be a crunch, a sit up, and then 4 punches to come down. So you're going to do that little curl up of the head, neck, and chest. Release back down. Come all the way up into a sit up. Come back down. And then on that last sit up, you're going to punch, 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 punch. You're going to work your obliques and then come all the way back to the ground. And that's where you're going to choose your own adventure, whether or not you want your hand weights or not. If you want your hand weights, you're going to take them along the way with you. So you're going to load up at the chest, a little crunch, a sit up, and then punch across the body to come all the way back down to the ground. Crunch, sit up, and then punch. Yes, nice job. All right, finish that last one. And then when you're ready, we're going to spin it around into a tabletop position. For our last minute of work, it's just going to be a nice little mobility stretch. So flip yourself over into your tabletop position. I'm going to start with my left arm just so that visually you can see it coming across the screen. So you're going to take your left arm, you're going to thread it underneath your right, left ear, left shoulder are going to come down to the ground. And now you're going to take your right hand, grab your left wrist and give a little bit of a tug out to the side. So you're going to pull gently into your wrist. And then once you're there, all you got to do is breathe. We got 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other side. So get yourself into your position. Find that little tug on the arm. And then see if you can just breathe in and out through your nose and slow your exhales down. All right, when you're ready, slowly and mindfully bring yourself back up to tabletop position. One side might feel slightly different than the other. So don't worry about trying to be perfect or perfectly symmetrical on any particular side. Take that right hand, thread it through, right ear, right shoulder to the ground. Left hand is going to grab that wrist and pull out to the side. Once you've got your way there, you're going to focus on your breath, breathing in and out through your nose best you can, with a slight bit of focus on slowing your exhale down. And time. Nicely done. Okay, come up through your tabletop position. We're going to come up into a little bit of a forward fold. So curl your toes under, lift your knees and butt up, walk your feet towards your hands, walk your hands towards your feet, whatever gets you there. Find that nice soft little folded position. Let your whole spine dangle. So let your head be nice and heavy. Let your arms be nice and heavy. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. We're going to bend our knees and come up with a little bit of intention. So you're going to push down with intention into your feet, come all the way back up to a standing position, then give a couple of good rolls of your shoulders around, down, and back. And then a couple of good shoulder rolls, go the other way. Lovely. One more shoulder roll around, and then just take one more nice big breath. Reach up and overhead. Bend your knees, hinge from your waist. Fold all the way back down to the ground. Take a big breath in. Slow breath out. Bend your knees. Push with intention into your feet. Come all the way back up to standing. You guys are amazing. Grab your stick if you're sticking around.